Good morning everyone. I am Pooja Kumari Shah, a B.Ed second semester trainee from Siliguri Tarai B.Ed College, and my method paper is Physical Science, and today I will be discussing the topic nomenclature of organic compounds, in which I will be talking about the first rule of IUPAC nomenclature, that is the parts of names of an organic compound, and I will also be discussing a little bit about the trivial system of nomenclature. So to begin with, we will be talking about nomenclature of organic compounds. What will we be talking about? We will be talking about nomenclature of organic compounds. What do we mean by nomenclature? Nomenclature is a system. What is this? This is a system. What does this system do? This is a system of assigning names to organic compounds. This is a system of assigning names to organic compounds. Right. So nomenclature is the system of assigning names. Now this nomenclature is of two types basically. There are two types of systems of naming. One is the trivial system, and the second is the IUPAC system. This is the old method, outdated one, and this is the new and still widely acceptable. We go through this IUPAC rules for assigning name to any compound. Now let's talk about a bit about the trivial system, then we will go into IUPAC nomenclature. So coming to this trivial system. So this system used to name compounds based on the basis of certain parameters like their origin, certain properties, like their Greek origin. Like for example, take the example of methane. We have this methane. So this methane, this was named marsh gas. Now why was this named marsh gas? Because it was found in marshes according to trivial names. Likewise, take the example of acetic acid. This was derived from the Latin word acetum. This is Latin. This means vinegar. So this is not any base of classifying, like marsh gas, because it is found in marshes. Now there can be another gas also which can be found in marshes. We cannot name all of them as marsh gas. The purpose of nomenclature itself to have a systematic naming system, so that we can remember all the names of compounds and we can distinguish one compound from the other. Different molecular formulas, different structures can be distinguished from one another. So this was like not accepted. This was very outdated, and this is a very old system basically. So coming to the IUPAC system. Now what does IUPAC stands for? IUPAC stands for International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. International Union for Pure and Applied Chemistry. What is the speciality of this? One structure, one molecular structure will have one name. So how specified is this? How systematic? We can look at the structures and we can name and we can distinguish between the two compounds. So this is still widely accepted. So we will be discussing about the first rule of this IUPAC nomenclature. So according to the first rule, the name of an organic compound is divided into 4 parts. Coming to the first part. First part is the root word. What do we mean by root word? See, this indicates the number of carbon atoms. This indicates the number of carbon atoms. Now where will these carbon atoms, where will we count these atoms? In a linear chain. in a linear chain. In a linear chain. Like for example, we have one carbon atom. This has the root word meth. If we have two, this has the root word eth. If we have three, this has the root word prop. If we have four, this has the root word but. Likewise for 5, we have pent. For 6, we have hex. As of now, up to pent is okay for class 10 syllabus. So, 1 carbon atom, meth, 2, eth, 3, prop, 4, but. So, these are the root words. Now, coming to the second part. Second part is the primary suffix. We all know suffix comes towards the end. So this primary suffix will obviously come after the root word. So what does this do? This talks about the nature of bonds between atoms. Nature of carbon chain. The nature. Nature as in what? Now what do we mean by nature? So this will tell us basically that whether there is a single bond or a double bond or a triple bond in a chain. Like for example, we have this 4 carbon atoms, okay, and we have a double bond in between. So this will have a suffix "ene". If we have a triple bond, this will be "ine". If it will have a single bond, this will be "ane". We have studied about alkane, alkene and alkyne. So for a single bond, it's "ane". For triple bond, it's "ine". This is for a single bond, this is for a triple bond, and "ene" is for a double bond. Now let us connect the two. First comes root word. Second comes primary suffix. Let us consider an example. It will be more clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. So for 6 we have the root word hex. For 6 we have hex. Now since there are no double bonds, so we will have the primary suffix "ene". Suffix comes towards the end. First we have the root word, right? Had there been a double bond, now including double bond and triple bond, there is another rule which denotes the position, like 1, 2, 3, 4. At 4th position we will be writing the number. It's not present out here, but to make it more clear, if there would be a double bond, this would be "ene", and if there would be a triple bond, this would be "ine". As simple as it is. So first we will be writing the root word, then we will be writing the primary suffix. Coming to the secondary suffix. Now see what is the secondary suffix. Secondary suffix. Like suffix, this will also come towards the end, and since this is secondary, this will come after primary suffix. First primary, then secondary. We all know this convention. So this is for your functional groups. This is for functional groups. Like I have taught about functional groups in the previous classes. Like we have OH. So this will have the suffix "ol". If we have CHO, aldehyde, this will have the suffix "al". If we will have COOH, this is acid group, so we will have the suffix "oic acid". And if we have halogens, halogen is denoted by X. So this can be denoted like, if it's chlorine, it will be chloro. If it's fluorine, it will be fluoro. Likewise iodo, bromo, etc. So this is for functional groups. And last we have prefix. Now what is prefix? In English grammar we have studied prefix comes before. Prefix. Prefix. See, pre, it's coming before, and fix, it will be fixed before, basically. So this indicates additional alkyl or functional group. Additional functional group or any alkyl group. Like for example, we have a carbon chain, and here we have one chlorine, here we have one chlorine. So in the beginning, what we will get the prefix? We will get the prefix dichloro. Since these are present at two different carbon atoms, we will have numbering out here, which I will discuss later. But the prefix will be here dichloro. So this is all about today. So let me sum up this IUPAC system. So according to this IUPAC system, a name has 4 parts. One is the root word, one is the primary suffix, one is the secondary suffix, and the last one is the prefix. Okay, so this root word, this talks about the number of carbon atoms in a linear chain. This talks about the nature of carbon chain, that is the single bond, double bond or triple bond. This talks about functional groups, and this talks about additional groups. Let me explain this again, lastly with one single example. So let's have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carbon atoms. So root word. What will be the root word for this? This will be pent. Right? Coming to primary suffix. Now primary suffix will decide whether it is ane, ene or ine. There is no double bond, no triple bond. So this will be ane. Okay. Coming to secondary suffix. So suppose that we have an alcohol, OH group. We will be having all, pentanol. And coming to prefix. Suppose we have chlorine here and chlorine here. So this will be dichloro. Root word comes first, primary suffix comes second, secondary suffix comes third, prefix comes fourth. And in the likewise in the next class I will be discussing about the numbering, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How will we take the numbers? Whether it will be from this side or this side. How will we select the longest chain? These rules will be discussed in the next class. So this is all for today. Thank you so much.